There is an exact moment in every human being's life when silence becomes deafening. It is not the ordinary silence of the early hours, nor the silence of an empty house. It is a silence that comes from within, a silence that aches, that weighs upon the shoulders, that tightens the chest. And perhaps you are feeling exactly this at this very moment. Perhaps that is why this video appeared for you today. Because what I am about to tell you is not just a spiritual message, it is a warning. A warning that Archangel Michael, the Prince of the heavenly hosts, the warrior of divine light, has paused before your secret struggle. And for the first time in a long while, he was moved, not by your pain, but by your silent persistence, by your hidden faith, by that request you made in the depths of your heart which no one, absolutely no one around you, knows exists. You have spent years asking, years pleading, years knocking on the same spiritual door, waiting for an answer that never seemed to come. And today you are exhausted, tired of trying, tired of manifesting, tired of praying, tired of smiling on the outside while your world falls apart on the inside. But what no one told you, what no master has revealed with the necessary depth, is that Archangel Michael does not respond to your requests. He responds to your state of consciousness. He responds to the feeling that pulses in your chest when you are not performing for anyone. And that is exactly why many ask and few receive. Because the law of assumption, that sacred law that governs all the invisible, does not listen to words. It listens to vibrations. You do not attract what you desire. You attract what you feel you already are. And as long as your inner talking continues to scream, "I do not have, I cannot, I am abandoned," no angel, no archangel, no celestial force can cross the invisible barrier you yourself have built. But today, right now, at this very instant, something is changing. The heavens have leaned down over your story, and you are going to understand why. And it is precisely here, at this exact point, that I need to ask you one thing. Why is this restlessness growing in your chest as you listen to these words? Why this video, of all things, just now, at this very minute of your life? It was not you who chose this video. It was you who were called to it. Perhaps you are feeling a strange mixture of fear and relief, as if a part of you recognizes what is being said even before the mind understands it. There is a reason for this. Archangel Michael does not approach just any soul. He approaches those souls that carry a silent mission, almost always linked to the protection of a family, the restoration of a home, or the breaking of a generational cycle of suffering that has been dragging on for a long time. Many see this message. Few understand what it truly means, and those who do understand, they are the ones who receive. That is why I prepared a powerful digital book for you, How to Know If You Are Saved for the Final Judgment. This material was written for someone exactly as you are right now, touched, vulnerable, awakening. The link is in the description and pinned at the top of the comments. Thousands of brothers and sisters have already reported profound transformations after this reading. Mothers who have recovered their children, marriages that have been restored, debts that vanished overnight, lives that seemed finished and were reborn. But pay attention. This content may be taken down at any moment for spiritual reasons even I cannot control. Do not ignore this call. If you are feeling it, it is because it is for you. Write Amen in the comments now as a decree of acceptance of this new reality that is already being opened for your life. Now take a deep breath, because what comes next is the heart of this revelation. There is an ancient principle taught by Neville Goddard, but known to mystics for millennia, called the bridge of incidence. This principle explains how the invisible materializes into the visible. When you internally assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you occupy the state of consciousness of that which seems impossible, the universe, governed by divine intelligence, begins to build invisible bridges toward you. Seemingly casual encounters, unexpected phone calls, letters that arrive at exactly the right time, people who reappear in your life after years, strange messages that open doors that were locked. All of this is the bridge of incidents operating silently in your favor. But here is the point that hurts to confess. Most people destroy this bridge before it is even finished. And how do they destroy it? Through destructive inner talking. You wake up in the morning, look at your bank balance, and whisper to yourself, "I will never get out of this. You pass by the bathroom mirror and murmur, "I am old. I am tired. Nobody loves me." And with each of these words, an entire beam of the bridge is torn away. Archangel Michael cannot work where the I am of the creature is poisoned, because the I am is the sacred password. It is the divine name imprinted within every soul. When you say I am poor, you sign at the bottom. When you say I am sick, you seal the contract. But when you whisper, even without external evidence, with internal firmness, I am loved, I am prosperous, I am healed, you are in that instant handing the Archangel the material with which he builds your miracle. And it is exactly at this point that many give up, because feeling before seeing requires a faith that few have the courage to exercise. But you did not get here by chance. Your family needs you awake. The digital book, How to Know If You Are Saved for the Final Judgment, was built precisely for this crossing. Link in the description and pinned at the top of the comments. Do not leave it for later, because later may arrive too late. The call is now. Let us go deeper. There is a science behind everything I am teaching you. Researchers at the HeartMath Institute, a serious research institute in the States, have demonstrated through decades of study that the human heart emits an electromagnetic field 5,000 times more powerful than the field emitted by the brain. This field extends for meters around your body, and every emotion alters the frequency of this field. When you feel fear, shame, resentment, or despair, the field becomes chaotic, incoherent, fragmented. But when you feel gratitude, love, inner certainty, deep peace, the field becomes coherent, harmonic, magnetic. And it is in this state of coherence that the universe responds, that doors open, that angels can draw near. And here enters what is perhaps the greatest error that destroys your manifestations, the silent error that no one warned you about. You ask, you feel for 5 minutes, and then you spend the other 23 hours and 55 minutes of the day in a contrary vibration. This is like planting a seed, watering that seed, and then pulling it from the soil 10 times a day to check if it has grown yet. Nothing germinates like this. No life sprouts this way. The seed needs darkness, it needs silence, it needs time. And above all, it needs absolute faith that what has been planted will sprout even without you checking on it. Neville Goddard taught a simple yet devastatingly powerful technique called nocturnal reprogramming. Imagine your entire day, the bills, the traffic, the arguments, the worries about your children, your health, the future, your marriage, your job. All this vibrational load accumulates within your subconscious, and when you sleep, this accumulation continues to program your reality for the next day. That is why there are mornings when you wake up already tired, already irritable, already with that feeling of defeat before the day has even begun. It is subconscious programming at work. But there is a sacred window, approximately 5 to 7 minutes before you drift off to sleep. It is the window where the conscious mind is already tired, has lowered its guard, and the subconscious is fully open, receptive, fertile. It is like a door that opens only once a day, and whatever you plant in that doorway will be multiplied by the silent power of the night. Imagine, feel, visualize, not like someone who begs, but like someone who gives thanks for what already is. See the scene of your restored child embracing you at the front door. Smell the coffee on a Sunday morning, in a kitchen of peace. Hear your husband's voice apologizing with sincerity. See the account balance growing. Feel the phone ringing with the news you have always waited for, not like someone who waits anxiously, but like someone who has already lived it, like someone who is merely recalling something that has already happened. This is the law of assumption in its purest form. You assume internally, in feeling and detail, that which has not yet manifested externally. And as you fall asleep in that frequency, Archangel Michael, along with the entire heavenly host, receives permission to begin moving the invisible pieces in your favor. But take heed, there is a giant danger that must be named. The danger of asking and undoing, asking and doubting, asking and complaining, asking and telling others. This cycle is like a ship that raises its anchors and then immediately drops new ones in the same harbor. You never get anywhere. Archangel Michael is saddened to see souls trapped in this cycle because he has already extended the sword of light. He is already ready to cut the chains. But you must stop stitching those same chains back together with your own destructive inner talking. And perhaps right now, reading these words, something inside you is trembling. That kind of silent tremor that only happens when the soul recognizes the truth. It is not common emotion, it is spiritual recognition. As if a part of you, forgotten for decades, were waking up at this very instant. This is no coincidence. You were led to this message by hands you cannot see. There are millions of videos in the world, and you are here, in this one, exactly at this sentence, at this second. Ask yourself honestly, why? Perhaps it is because someone in your home is at spiritual risk, and you have been called, even without knowing it, to be the bridge of light in this family. Perhaps it is because your most secret prayer, the one you never even told your closest confessor, has been heard and is about to be answered. Perhaps it is because you are unknowingly one of the chosen remnants for these final times, one of those who will hold the flame while many around you go astray. That is why I have prepared this powerful digital book for you, How to Know If You Are Saved for the Final Judgment. This is not just any book. It is a spiritual map to identify the signs that the Almighty places in the lives of those He has decided to spare and use as instruments in these days. The link is in the video description and also pinned at the top of the comments. I have already received messages from people who used to sleep medicated and have returned to sleeping in peace after reading it. From women who recovered the faith they had lost 20 years ago. From men who stopped drinking without needing treatment. From entire families who reunited after decades apart. This material could be taken down at any moment, and I cannot guarantee how much longer it will be available. If you are being touched right now, this is your moment. It is no coincidence. Write, Amen, I accept, in the comments now, as a decree of acceptance of this new reality opening up for you. Let us now go to something that few have the courage to teach, because it requires a painful internal confrontation. Archangel Michael, according to ancient traditions, is the angel of spiritual battles, not of human wars, but of the wars that take place within each soul. And do you know which is the most brutal war he fights? The war between your conscious desire and your subconscious program. You say with your mouth every day, I want to prosper. But deep down in the basement of emotional memory, there is a child who grew up hearing that money is dirty, that the rich do not enter heaven, that being poor is holier, that asking is humiliation. This child still commands your vibrational field, and until they are comforted, heard, and reprogrammed, no external miracle will last. Even if it comes, it crumbles in your hands. You say, I want true love. But in the subconscious there is the mark of an old abandonment. Perhaps the father who left when you were a child, perhaps the mother who did not know how to embrace you, perhaps the partner who betrayed you when you trusted them. And these marks are whispering day and night, love always hurts and no one stays. You're not worthy of being loved forever. How could the universe deliver a full love to you while this frequency is still broadcasting in the background, like a radio playing softly? What Archangel Michael has come to do now, and why he was moved upon seeing your secret struggle, is precisely to cut these old voices. But he does not act without permission. The divine rule is ancient and sacred. No being from the higher plane interferes without the incarnate soul asking and consenting freely. And you are asking now by watching this video. This video is, in itself, an unconscious cry for help that you sent to the infinite. And the infinite has answered, sending these words to you exactly at this moment. Exactly this night, exactly in this restlessness. Let us proceed to a powerful practice. I want you tonight, before falling asleep, to do the following exercise. It is not complicated, but it is surgical. Turn off all the lights, lie down comfortably, breathe deeply 3 times, slowly, feeling the air enter and leave, and then begin to whisper in a low voice, almost like a child talking to God in the darkness. Archangel Michael, I surrender my secret struggle to you. I surrender to you what I cannot even name. I surrender to you the fears that are hidden in the basement of my soul. Cut with your sword of light everything that needs to be cut within me. Open what needs to be opened. Close what needs to be closed. And then, and this is the most important part, Begin to imagine the scene of your desire already fulfilled. Do not ask anymore, just live in your imagination as if it had already been yours for a long time. See yourself waking up in a house of peace. See your child smiling at the breakfast table. See your husband tenderly pouring you a glass of water, without you having to ask. See the client signing the contract that will change your life. See the news of the test results arriving clear, without a shadow, without a doubt. Feel the relief flowing down through your chest. Feel the gratitude filling your eyes with tears. Feel the peace as if it were already your new natural breath. And fall asleep with this feeling intact. Do this for 7 consecutive nights. Without fail, without skipping, without questioning a single night. And you will feel physically something moving in your external world. You will see signs. You will receive confirmations. You will understand, through experience, that the law of assumption is as real as the law of gravity. Persistence is the key to everything. Not the amount of time of each visualization, but its constancy. 7 days in a row, vibrating in the fulfilled state, builds bridges that 7 years of desperate pleading could not build, because to ask is to confess that you do not have, and to assume is to declare that you already are. The law of assumption operates on the silent declaration of I am, never on the desperate cry of I want. Whoever screams I want is sitting in the chair of lack. Whoever whispers I am is sitting on the throne of possession. And here is another revelation that will shake you. Every time you speak ill of yourself, every time you humble yourself in conversations with others, every time you confess your scarcity out loud to friends and relatives, you are doing the opposite of reprogramming. You are hammering the old program back in. Stop. From today on, stop declaring your pain to the world. Stop telling everyone how hard your life is. Not because it is wrong, not because you need to pretend, but because every word of that is a prayer in reverse. You are consecrating the problem instead of consecrating the solution. You are feeding the shadow instead of feeding the light. The mouth was made to create. The word is a seed. And Archangel Michael, even wanting to help, cannot plant wheat while you keep planting tares. Learn to keep your miracle in silence. Learn to feel before showing. Learn to live internally in that reality that has not yet manifested. This is the path of the few, the path of the chosen, the path of those who receive in silence what others have screamed in vain for decades. Now I need to tell you about something profound, about the seemingly unfair suffering. Perhaps you are asking yourself in some secret corner of your heart, why me? Why so much pain? What did I do to deserve this? And this question, brother, sister, is exactly the beginning of the awakening, because the awakened soul no longer asks, why me? It asks, what for me? There is an abyssal difference between these two questions. The first keeps you a victim, frozen in time. The second transforms you into a protagonist, into an instrument. Everything you have lived up to here, every tear shed in the dark, every sleepless night, every door that closed in front of you, every love that abandoned you without explanation, every bit of money that slipped through your fingers without leaving a trace, every hope that crumbled like sand, all of this was chiseling your soul to receive what is coming now. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are not being forgotten. You are being tuned. And Archangel Michael, that warrior angel of fire, observed it all without missing a single detail. Every tear of yours was counted. Every silent prayer was archived in the books of heaven. Every night you lay down without the strength to continue, he was there, by your bedside, holding his sword raised so that no darkness could finish destroying you. You did not notice, but he was, and he is now. And you are still here. Think deeply about this. In the face of all that has passed, in the face of everything that tried to tear you down, you are still breathing. You are still listening. You are still feeling. This is living proof that there is a purpose greater than your suffering. You were not broken. You were forged. And now the time for the final delivery has arrived. Not a delivery, as in surrender, but the delivery of everything that has always belonged to you and was being kept for this exact moment in your life. There is a technical detail that must be stated now. The fourth dimension, where everything is planted, requires a specific type of imagination. It is not the scattered, fragmented, anxious imagination that jumps from one scenario to another every minute. It is the focused, sensory, complete, embodied imagination. When you imagine your scene, you need to see the sharp colors, smell the real scents, hear the exact sounds, touch the textures as if your hand were actually touching them, feel the emotions rising through your belly, your chest, your throat. The more sensory, the more real. The more real, the faster it materializes in the external world. Train this like someone training an important muscle. Start with small scenes to build confidence. Imagine someone calling you this afternoon. Feel the vibration of the phone in your pocket. See the name of that person on the screen. Hear their voice saying something good, surprising, unexpected, and then release the scene, forget it. In a short time, it starts to happen in the physical world, and this is your personal proof that the law of assumption is absolutely real. Once you see it work in the small things, your faith naturally grows to the big ones. And the big ones will come. The new house with the key in your hand. The healed relationship without old resentment. The restored health in your blood tests. The child back home asking for forgiveness. The debt paid off in a way you couldn't even imagine. The professional recognition coming from those you least expected. All of this is the natural result of a trained consciousness. And Archangel Michael is, at this very moment, watching over this process within your vibrational field. He does not abandon you, even on the days when you feel that he has. Even in the early hours when it seems no one is listening, he is there, waiting for you to occupy the right state so that he can act with all the strength granted to him by the Almighty. There is a passage that many people know but few understand in depth. It is in the book of Daniel, chapter 10. The prophet Daniel had been praying for 21 days straight with no apparent answer, and when the angel finally arrived, he said these impressive words, "Daniel, from the first day that you set your heart to understand, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. Do you perceive the abyssal depth of this? The angel was released on the first day. But there was resistance on the invisible plane, and that resistance lasted 21 days. Daniel did not know. Daniel thought he was being ignored. But the angel was already coming, already fighting, already clearing the way. Your answer has also already been released, perhaps months ago, perhaps years ago, perhaps on that specific night when you cried alone and promised that it was the last time you would ask. But there is a resistance in the invisible planes that needs to be broken, and this resistance is, in large part, fueled by your own destructive inner talking. Each time you doubt, you strengthen the wall against yourself. Each time you trust, you open a crack in that wall. And when you finally sustain the feeling long enough, the entire wall collapses, and the miracle reaches you all at once, overflowing. Persistence, always persistence. It is not a detail, it is the axle of the entire mechanism. Without persistence, nothing holds. With persistence, nothing resists forever. Archangel Michael is the angel of sacred persistence. He is the one who does not give up, even when the realms of darkness resist for 21 days, for 21 months, for 21 years. And when he approaches you, he transfers this celestial quality into your chest. You begin to have strength you did not have before. The will to pray even when tired, the will to meditate even without time, the will to keep going even without external proof. This is the Archangel acting within you, before he even acts on the outside. And it is here that I need to tell you something that might bother you. There are people around you who will not be able to withstand your new frequency. Family members who will drift away without understanding why. Friends who will vanish out of nowhere. Old relationships that will crumble. Do not be sad about this. It is natural. It is necessary. When you rise in vibration, everything that was anchored in the old vibration must fall. Not because these people are bad, but because they can no longer vibrate at the same level as you. And Archangel Michael, being the divine cutter, is precisely responsible for this silent cleansing that takes place in your life. You will lose things. You will lose people. You will lose places that seemed safe, and you will cry over some of these losses. But in a short time, you will understand that each one of them was keeping you from receiving what was reserved for you. Heaven does not take anything from your life that is not deep down robbing you of something much greater. Trust in this process, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. The pruning of the vine seems cruel to those who watch from the outside. But it is the pruning that prepares the vine to bear grapes in abundance in the next season. And you are being pruned right now. Everything that has gone away in recent months, in recent years, was an old leaf that needed to fall. And now, with the vine clean, the sap of prosperity can finally rise to the highest branches of your life. Money can finally flow. Love can finally arrive. Health can finally take hold. Peace can finally inhabit your home. And that is why this video is coming to its end. Not because I want it to end, but because its mission has been fulfilled on the invisible plane. Fulfilled only, however, if you decide, at this very instant, to apply what you have learned here. Knowledge without application is a burden. It is guilt. It is additional weight that presses upon the shoulders. But knowledge applied, even in the smallest exercise, transforms entire destinies, turns families inside out, restores generations. You will go to sleep tonight, and you will practice nightly reprogramming. You will whisper to Archangel Michael, asking him to cut with his sword of light everything that needs to be cut within you. You will mentally occupy in the fourth dimension, the state of consciousness of the desire already fulfilled. You will feel it in every sense, as if it had already been yours for a long time. You will fall asleep in this sacred frequency, and you will wake up day after day with new bridges being built in the invisible, with new doors opening where before there were only walls. Do not tell anyone what you are doing. Keep this as a treasure between you and heaven. The most sacred pearls are those kept in absolute silence, and when the results come, and they will come, you will understand in silence why you needed to keep it. Because that which is announced too early is lost on the way. That which is kept in secret blossoms at the exact hour. And before this video ends once and for all, I need to remind you of something fundamental. You didn't end up here by chance. Every word spoken here was a direct call to your soul. Archangel Michael is waiting for your answer right now. And this answer is not a prayer of the lips. It is a decision of the heart. The decision to change your state of consciousness. The decision to assume today, before going to sleep, the feeling of what you want to see in your life. That is why I have prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If You Are Saved for the Final Judgment. This book delves deep into everything we have discussed here, with practices, signs, and revelations that cannot fit into a single video. The link is in the description and pinned at the top of the comments. Do not leave it for tomorrow. Tomorrow may be too late. This content may be taken down without prior notice. If you are feeling this call right now, it is for you. Comment Amen, I accept, as a decree of acceptance of your new reality. And may Archangel Michael descend upon your home today, with the sword of light, cutting away everything that needs to be cut and opening everything that needs to be opened. You have been seen, you have been heard, now you must simply occupy the state and receive.